Okay, so yeah, this is going to have to be a short stream once again. Maybe even shorter than my others have been because I have hurt my back once again. The problem is that I'm trying to progress in my calisthenics, and that has necessitated deadlifts. And I know, Ansa, it fucking sucks. Old person body I've had since 16. Hey, empty. Yeah, so I tried. I got some dumbbells that are like adjustable weight a couple months back, and I was excited because I was moving from zero weight, just body weight, one-legged deadlifts to weighted deadlifts. Oh, there we go. I think the download just happened. Maybe I should just upload it as is. And because there is another pathway involving like bands, not the musical kind, the stretchy kind. Hey, Matt. Which I don't have, and I didn't feel like purchasing. It just seemed easier to get, and my husband wanted dumbbells anyway, so I found somebody giving them away on Facebook Marketplace, so I went and got them. Oh, actually, I probably shouldn't upload, huh? Let's see. No, you know what? I'll wait. I'll wait and I'll edit it. So anyway, I tried it. I was like, wow, it's like, this is too easy. So I immediately bumped it up to like heavier dumbbells. And then I hurt my back. So I was like, oh, either my form is bad, or I shouldn't have gone up in weights so quickly, or both. So for this round, like I waited several months, make sure my back is feeling good, you know, and now I'm like back to regularly working out 3 times a week with calisthenics. And so I was like, okay, this time I'm once again, I did this the first time. I watched a lot of videos and tutorials on like proper form. So I did that again, but this time I went back down to the smallest weight. I think it's like 2.5 pounds or maybe 2 pounds. And then I also recorded myself for the first set, watched the recording, and then made very slight adjustments. This was yesterday. And my back hurts. Hi, Don Pedro. So, yeah. I fucked up, you guys. So yeah, now I need to like not sit for long periods of time. I need to go back into, you know, I know what to do. I know the stretches and stuff. And then like, I don't know what to do about deadlifts. Like, I guess I got to go back to the other, maybe I'll get some bands and do it that way. Banded pull-off presses or something, I think it is. I don't know. It's frustrating because I'm trying to progress in strength training, but my back is not playing along. So, yeah, if I have to give up halfway through this lesson... thank you for the sub, Prances. That's why I can't sit for long periods of time. So, stupid back. All right, let's get into it.
Greetings once again from Rescue Shuttle Control. This is the 4th daily uplink that we're sending to you.
Oh, my battery's low.
Telemetry indicates a lot of new activity on your craft.
And by the way, if you're just joining, this is an adventure kit that I got for Christmas, and I'm just busting out now. The point of it is to teach me programming and also to learn a little bit more about electronics, how electricity works. So, yeah. Oh, wait, looking for a way to copy paste today's code or a better view. What? Hold on. Why isn't that just a part of page not found? Okay. That link does not work. They really have some... It could be better. But I'm still excited about this.
You've succeeded since our last uplink in getting your lights going. We're seeing a lot of activity. So much activity, in fact, that we're noting a drop in some of your electrical battery supply. So it's going to be pretty important for us as we activate more systems and get you active.
It's probably just my internet here on this alien planet doesn't work very well.
Careful in activating and
I'm stranded on an alien planet.
Systems and controlling your power consumption. So with that in mind,
exactly,
today, we are going to work on extending the capabilities that you developed during our last session. You'll remember during our last session,
it's a good point, Ty.
You were able to use your hero.
We missed it.
Remotely
make a note for next year.
Turn off your lighting circuit, and so
40424.
We're going to extend that capability to be able to independently turn on and off several different circuits, and this will allow you to control lighting in various parts of your shuttle as you activate its system.
Okay, so I'm wondering already, like, he really needs to be more clear about whether I need to, like, start over, or it looks like a lot of this is the same as yesterday. Oh, Don Pedro, empty.
To get started on today's session,
thanks, Scott.
Focus on the coding that will be necessary to have the hero control not just one, but in this case, 3 different lighting circuits. So let's take a look for a moment at our code window and see what we're going to need to do to modify our work from last time. You'll notice that we're starting off this time with not just variables that describe a single light-emitting diode, a single LED.
Okay, every time I bring up the code window, by the way, like, it doesn't show me yesterday's stuff. It shows me the blink code still. So maybe I'll do it like a new tab. Oh no, some files are marked read-only. Okay. Like, open. I feel like I did save it. I did. Here it is. Okay. So yeah, because I have int switch 1 equals 2. Okay. I don't know why it doesn't open this, but okay. I got it. Oh. I wonder if there's an Atlanta-based brewery that's... Oh, is it the default? Interesting. I don't think so, though. I think when I first opened it up, it was a blank thing. I don't know. I wonder if there's an Atlanta-based brewery that has a 404 beer. I said that because there's like an 808 beer, and a 404 beer not found would be pretty funny. Okay. So, should I go ahead and put these... I actually, like... I know it takes longer, but I feel like I'll internalize the grammar better if I just type it in myself. But I know that that's also like not the most fun thing for you guys to watch because you can't even see me typing it in. You can hear it, which I know is very soothing. Click clacks. All right, and then int switch 3 equals 4. And then for our LEDs, oh wait, semicolon. LED equals, oh, I see, it's LED 1, 2, 3 now. So 3 is 12, 2 is going to be 11, semicolon, and LED 1 is going to be, oops, 10. I didn't write these in order. It's a little messy already. My code is messy. And then he's got nothing in his setup for the moment. So I'll just delete all of this. So now my thing looks like his thing. Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay.
But 3 different LEDs. So now we're going to have
for Brewing Company.
LED 2 and LED 3, which will correspond to output pins on the Hero, pins 10, 11, and 12. We'll use the names LED to remind us which lamps those correspond to, but we'll always keep in mind, as indicated in our comment,
we're going to need a green one and a blue one.
Correspond to the hardware pins.
I didn't get any blue LEDs.
10 through 12 on the Hero board.
Too expensive, I bet.
We have 3 LEDs to control. We now are going to have.
I have one that looks white.
So we'll use not one, but all 3 of the switches on our dip switch that we saw during
this is like a complicated one.
So once again, since these are now not outputs but inputs to the Hero,
all right, we're going to go with yellow.
Identify those input functions with pins on the Hero. Switch 1 will be the code number for pin number 2. Switch 2 will be the name for pin 3.
Yeah, I think it's multicolored because it's got like 4 prongs.
Corresponding to pin 4. Clearly, you can use any 3 pins that are free and unused on the Hero as you wish. This is just an example. All right, with our variables declared, the next thing we need to do is provide our setup code and our loop code. So let's begin with the setup code, realizing that, as before, we need to use the pin mode function in order to assign roles to the variables that we've declared. And before we had 1 output and 1 input. This time, not surprisingly, we're going to be wanting to assign 3 outputs and 3 inputs. So let's go ahead and do that and paste that into our
What day are we on? 4?
Right now.
Okay.
All right. So you can see we have our comment here, which...
Hold on a second. My first time using GitHub. So exciting. Yeah, Prance. He's definitely got that, like, the nice teacher in high school, but you fell asleep during his class sort of cadence, huh? All right. Pin mode. LED 1, 2, 3. Yeah. All right. I'm going to copy and paste this from GitHub into setup. So the spacing, it's just to make them look nice, right? So like when you, like, spaces don't affect the code at all. I should make a login for GitHub. Yeah, okay. Hold on. I'm gonna do that. Since I'm a programmer now. Hold on, I gotta open up 1Password. What? 1Password is tough to open on my PC because not all of my keyboard buttons work. Because I spilled Coke on it that one time. Alright, new login for GitHub. I have to solve a puzzle? Ugh. I did it. Ugh, I gotta do it again. Oh, okay, there we go. And they've sent a code to my Gmail. Almost there. Generally ignored, except to delineate different keywords. Okay. Just me. I'm a student. I don't... All right, so I'm Rebecca versus one word on GitHub, if you would like to find me. Hold on, I have to send my... do you just need the username? Or do I need to, like, send... username works? Okay, because I want to send... I want to send, like, an invite or something to my husband. How do I do that? It'd be nice if it could, like, come from GitHub. That would be the funniest thing to do. Hey, Roger. You like computer science, but I hate coding. Oh, I see. Yeah, a space rather than like no space. Space versus no space between words. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I just mean like how some things are indented. Interesting. About Python. Oh yeah, and I did notice that he puts in spaces in between equals, which I've been doing as well. If I left out those spaces, would the code still work? I don't see a way to send my I'll just oh wait, I don't have messages on my PC. I cannot copy and paste. I'm a programmer. GitHub.com/Rebecca versus I'm a programmer. Okay. Honey puns. Oh yeah, like I haven't even looked at his GitHub. He uses the same... Yep, I found him. Oh my god. All right. He has 19 followers. Well, now he has 20. So I need to get more than 20 followers. Oh, and I said, "Oh my God," because he's using his like old work picture, and he looks like a little baby in it. It's very cute. Okay. Oh, can you see who I'm following? I might have just opened the door for people to stalk my husband.
Reminds us, or anyone that reads our code, that this setup is intended to define both our input and our output pins. So as we just discussed,
right.
1, 2, and 3 will correspond to the outputs as we defined them before. So there'll be output functions assigned to pins 10, 11, and 12. Now, we have 3 more calls.
This makes sense to me.
Each one of those terminated as usual with a semicolon. Switch 1 will be an input, and switch 1, we remember, is pin 2. Switch 2 will also be an input as well.
Oh, it would work. Okay.
So
thank you,
that will run once when we upload the code to the hero. And so next, we need to concern ourselves with what's going to happen during looping.
Oh, wait, I closed GitHub looping, without...
We want to, once again, use logic to allow the hero to figure out at any given time which of the lights to illuminate and which to turn off. And so what that means is that we're now going to have to reproduce the same kind of logic that we did during our last session, but repeat it 3 times. The 3 times corresponding to the 3 different switches. And
wait, I have to pause this because I'm back on GitHub. How do I start? No. How do I like save it? Oh, here we go. Star. That's what I want, right? Star. That'll like save it to... Oh, I see. I can make a list. My stack. Okay. And we are on day 4. All right, back up because I wasn't listening.
And so during looping, we want to, once again, use logic to allow the hero to figure out at any given time which of the lights to illuminate and which to turn off. And so what that means is that we're now going to have to reproduce the same kind of logic that we did during our last session, but repeat it 3 times. The 3 times corresponding to the 3 different switches and the 3 different LEDs.
Got it.
So let's go ahead and insert that code inside our loop. And this is what it looks like. It's a little bit longer now, but you can see that we're taking the same action that we did before, and that is we're doing tests and taking actions based on the status of now not just a single switch, but of the 3 separate switches.
Right.
So here we start testing with an if statement. If digital read of switch 1, which you'll recall, remember that's corresponding to, if you look at our code up here, switch 1 corresponds to pin 2. So if the voltage on pin 2, switch 1, is high, that is 5 volts, then execute the code within these curly brackets, which is digital write LED high. In other words, turn light number 1 on. Otherwise, else, execute the code within these curly brackets, which is digital write LED low. Turn the first lamp off. Now, once that's completed,
France, me too.
Flows down to the next
I
block,
taught myself HTML
like
in, I guess it would have been in high school because HTML didn't exist prior to, because I'm old. But I coded my own website. I was very proud of it. It was called Fiery Inferno, and it was about a little character that I drew that was Satan. And so it was just like, it was like Satan's like blog before blogs. Probably around the same year, 96-ish. Yeah.
Now it performs the if test on switch 2.
I think I found it on
depending upon the status of
archive
switch 2, if
once.
it's high, turn lamp 2 on, and so on. If it fails, in other words, if switch 2 is low, then you'll turn lamp 2 off. And then finally, exactly the same thing happens for switch 3 and lamp 3. These 3 blocks of code will execute every time this loop is performed. And so this will just endlessly go round and round and round, testing, switching, testing, switching. If any change, any of the switches occur, then on the next loop through...
Oh my God! It's here. Yeah, That was my little devil. um, Robert Downey Jr. was Minion 2993 in Minion News. This was before Minions were a thing. It does kind of look like Don't Starve. I asked people to vote for me. Oh, it's a shame that this picture of an ass is no longer there. Everything on the site is copyrighted 2000 to me. I shouldn't have to tell you what may happen if anything is stolen or used in any way that irks me, but I will anyway. Your soul will be subjected to a millennium of torture, involving several randy goats and a continuous loop of in-sync songs. When the millennium is over, you'll be given a new life as a postal worker. Please send any questions, comments, and hate mail to my secretarial imp. Thank you and have an evil day. Look, I even had... I remember working really hard on this, like making bitmaps that on mouse over would highlight. God, I was so proud of this. It's a pyramid scheme with Satan at the top. Oh yeah, remember guest books? So yeah, you could add your name to the guest book and say what you wanted in exchange for your soul. Oh, I shouldn't show all of these email addresses. Remember, people used to do that. Oh, okay. We can peruse that at a later date.
So we think we understand now how this is supposed to work. Okay. And so it's just a matter of...
My back's starting to hurt.
And seeing if it
oh, yeah. I don't remember if I had
so
music.
So we spend a little bit of time now going over the logic.
Yes, visit counters.
It's necessary in order to accomplish our goal here. And so now we have to make sure that our analog circuit is designed and constructed in the correct way to take advantage of this. So let's direct our attention now over to the workbench. What we have here is a circuit which is pretty much 3 times the last circuit that we encountered during our last session. It's a little more complicated now. And so I'm going to try and take a little bit of time to carefully step through the different parts that we need to examine. Because there are more components and there's more going on in this particular circuit, we try to be a little more organized and a little bit more systematic in the way that we lay it out. So there's 2 major sections that are laid out on our breadboard here. In the lower part, you'll notice we have the dip switch with the 3 switches, 1, 2, and 3. And this is the part which basically interfaces to the input functions on the hero. In other words, our pins over here, pins 2, 3, and 4, are connected to the switch. We'll deal with those first, and then after we've figured those out, then we'll look at the output functions where the actual lamps are. Here's LED 1, the red one, LED 2 is the blue one, and LED 3 is the green one. So let's first look at the switches. You'll recall that the inputs to the hero are expecting an input voltage, either a high or a low, a plus 5 volts or a 0 volts. And in order to provide that,
I feel like I should unplug
a steady 5 volts from over here on the hero.
Should I not unplug the hero while I do all this? Because, like, what if I put things in the wrong order and I blow out the LED, right? Like, doesn't that make sense? That's true. I hate that TikTok doesn't start up muted, though. Every time I open that app, I regret it. That's a good point, Don Pedro. Okay, so it's not going to blow out my LEDs?
Through this orange wire, and since we need that steady 5 volts at more than one location, it's a lot more efficient for us not to send.
Go back.
Recall that the inputs to the Hero are expecting an input voltage, either a high or a low, plus 5 volts or a 0 volts. And in order to provide that, what we've done is sent a steady 5 volts from over here on the Hero through this orange wire. And since we need that steady 5 volts at more than one location, it's a lot more efficient for us not to send 3 different 5-volt wires over, but to send a single 5 volt
that
over
does make
to
sense.
This red line here. So this vertical line provides essentially a 5-volt bus for us that we can tap into anytime we need a steady 5 volts. So you'll see 5 volts has been delivered to this red vertical stripe, and we've then tapped into that 3 times with these orange wires right here. Each of these 3 orange wires takes a steady 5 volts and taps in to one side of each of the 3 switches in the 3-channel dip switch.
Okay, so he's given me a bunch of these short wires. I don't know if there's a special word for this. And then a bunch of long ones, but the long ones only have stabby bits on one side. So, what? So I can't use them. I don't understand. Am I supposed to use the long one and then do the short one at the end? I guess that would work if I want like a longer cable. Oh, they're extensions. So that is what I'm supposed to do. So like I take this and I just like stab this in here. And then now I have a long one. That makes sense. Okay. I should probably keep them the same color. That would probably be less confusing, huh? So, purple. You get to be long. I do think it's very funny that they're considering banning TikTok. Like, funny sad. Because it's like, y'all are spying on us with Facebook. All right, so we're running the 5 straight on over to the... His is opposite. He's got the blue on the left and the red on the right. I hope that doesn't make a difference. Because that's going into the negative. Does that matter? Like, it doesn't matter. Okay. So there's my 1, delivering power to that. Well, rotating it 180 degrees. Oh. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep, that does fix that. Why is my brain like this? Why am I so stupid? Okay. I'm like, well, no, because the one on the other side. Oh, yeah. Well, now I'm wondering if I should change everything. No, I'm gonna keep going. Okay. Oh, let's keep listening to it.
Right here. Here's switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, each of which is being supplied with 5 volts from the hero. All right? Now, depending upon whether these switches are in the off or the on position, that voltage will be connected to the other side of the divide in the breadboard. Right now, you can see that each of the 3 dip switches are in the off position, which means that that 5 volts is not currently being transferred over to the other side. But if I move any of those switches over, then 5 volts will be delivered to the other side. In order to complete this circuit, then we have each of the 3 channels continue through current limiting resistors. So here we have 3 of the 220 ohm resistors connected from the lower side of the dip switch down to ground. And once again, remind you that we've done the same trick here as we did with the 5 volt bus over here on the other side. We've provided along this blue vertical line a readily available 0 volt location. So each of these 3 current limiting resistors goes into 0 volts and completes the full circuit. And that 0 volts, or ground, is provided by this blue wire right here, connected on the side of that ground bus and connected to ground on the hero. So it looks like we have everything in place. Once we connect each of these points, we'll connect switch 1 over here to pin 2. We'll connect through this orange wire, switch 2 to
I'm
pin
taking
3.
all this out.
And finally, switch number 3 connects through this red wire to pin 4. And so double checking, those assignments seem to be consistent with the way I wrote my code. If I transposed some of those and made a mistake, then I get the wrong light lighting up when I flip a certain switch. So that would be part of the debugging process of making sure that my code and my hardware.
Okay. Quiet, you. It's time for me to get to work. All right, so we're doing... So the resistor goes on the long-legged side of each LED. I should probably get a light in here because this is very tiny work. Resistor and wait, nope. There we go. Okay, resistors are in place. And then I do 3 wires going over to this side to connect the switch to the power. And then 3 resistors from the switch to ground. Yeah, I obviously, like, you know that I must be very confident in my own intelligence to allow you guys to see me at my dumbest. Remember when I was playing Overwatch and I couldn't figure out how to get out of spawn because I was facing the wrong door? Okay, and then... All right, right, so those are all the intra-board things. Then we've got ground. Boop. It's going to not the 5-volt side, but the other side. Ground. All right, and then each of the LEDs is going to 10, 11, 12, because that's what we coded. Yeah. All right, and that's right here. Definitely gonna bring a light in here. Wait. My office is super dark in general. All right. So that's 10, 11, 12. And then we connect the switch. Switch to the thingy. By going, between the switch and the resistors. Okay. So... boop. And boop. Man, this must be tough for men and people with fattier fingers. Because Jesus Christ. Okay, oh wait. I guess it doesn't matter if I have these all plugged in here instead of this guy being over here. All right, and then 2, 3, and 4, because that's what we've coded. Yeah. Pin 4, pin 3, pin 2. Okay. I think I did it. And then I've got my long one going to there. Okay.
Hardware agree with one another. All right, so if we're satisfied with that, let's move over to the other side of this breadboard, the upper side, where we actually have the lighting going on. Here, of course, we're not connecting the lights directly to 5 volts, because otherwise, if we did that, the lights would be on constantly. Instead, we're connecting each of the LED lamps to their corresponding output pins on the Hero. So, as you'll recall, what we said here was our 3 output pins were going to be pins 10, 11, and 12. So here's pin 10. Pin 10 is connected by this red wire over here to a row on the breadboard, which takes us across through a current limiting...
Like, I know I've already done this, but watching him talk about it helps me internalize it. So I apologize to those of you who are like...
The input side of the first LED.
Hurry up and just test it.
The output side of the LED then connects directly to this white wire, which jumps back...
Oh, wait.
Back down to our handy ground. So that...
Oh, I'm glad I did watch it. I didn't notice those white wires. Okay, so the white wires connect that to ground. Oh. Okay. Back to work. Hold on, I'm gonna shorten up my resistors a little bit. Give me some more room to work. Okay, so in between each of these guys, on the output side, right? Input is the longer leg, output is the shorter leg. We do wire from this side all the way over to this side. Okay. And then again here. I might need to rewatch his explanation of why I'm doing this. I'm probably going to have to watch all of these over again to fully grasp what's happening. Like, following along with instructions and diagrams is one thing, but understanding why is my real battle. Okay. Let's just back up a little bit.
Where we actually have the lighting going on. Here, of course, we're not connecting the lights directly to 5 volts, because otherwise, if we did that, the lights would be on constantly. Instead, we're connecting each of the LED lamps to their corresponding output pins on the Hero. So, as you'll recall, what we said here was our 3 output pins were going to be pins 10, 11, and 12. So here's pin 10. Pin 10 is connected by this red wire over here to a row on the breadboard, which takes us across through a current limiting resistor to the input side of the first LED, the red LED. The output side of the LED then connects directly to this white wire, which jumps back and brings us back down to our handy ground.
Okay, so that's grounded, right?
Necessary in order to light LED number 1.
Okay,
and
I get it.
I get it. Pin number 10 goes high, goes to 5 volts. Then this current will flow through the circuit, and that LED will light. Exactly the same construction applies to the other 2 LEDs. So the second LED, the blue LED, is energized by pin number 11. And pin number 11 is connected to
Guys, I get it.
limiting resistor and the positive lead of the blue LED. The negative lead of the blue LED is connected by another white wire back to ground. And finally, the same thing goes on for the third LED. There's pin number 12. Pin number 12.
Oh, right. And that's this on mine, the green wire, ground.
LED, then
so that whole row is always ground.
This white wire, which then jumps back to ground, completing the circuit. So hopefully that's a fairly clear explanation of the construction of this circuit, and you'll be able to reproduce either this circuit or something equivalent to it without too much difficulty. So finally, the test of our work here, both the software and the circuit construction, is to go ahead and upload our code and see if it functions in the way that we desire. Because, of course, what we want to be able to do is independently control the 3 lighting channels, turn them on when we need them, and off when we don't.
Polybridge. I've never heard of that.
Coming back over here to the code window, let's upload this to the Hero. Okay, looks like the code is uploaded successfully to the Hero, and we see no lights on, which is good news because all of our switches are
here we go.
So let's go ahead then and test this. Let's take, for example, switch number 1 and move it to on. Switch number 1 to on turns on LED number 1. So that's exactly what we wanted to do. Let's see if we can
Yay!
turn it off and turn switch 2 on.
I did it!
Sure enough, now we get the blue LED when we turn on switch 2, and we can check that switch 3 is functioning as well. So there's our third LED. Now,
I made a little stoplight.
The logic in our code is working correctly when we have more than one switch on. So for example,
I already did
1 and 3 are both on. 3 is currently on. Let's turn on 1. And sure enough, it's working exactly as our logic indicated it should.
Yay.
If we turn all 3 on, we get all 3 illuminated, and we can configure these switches in any way that we like. So it looks as though we have succeeded now in extending our results from our last uplink session to enable us to control more than one channel at a time. That's going to be a good practice for you in your next before our next upload session. So go ahead and work on that, and we'll be in touch soon. So until our next contact, remember, build everything and invent safe.
Yay, me. Yeah. Feels good, man. Pretty proud of myself for not just following the instructions, but understanding what's happening. Whether or not I can if you were to hand me all these components and be like, make this without looking at the diagram, I don't think I could. Like, I would forget some steps here, but I do feel like I understand the reasoning behind why each of these things is here, which is an improvement over, like when I did Flamingula, I was able to figure out how to make the basic, like I knew I needed to get a resistor, and I knew it mattered which way the LED went, that one was input, one was output, like I kind of had the basics, but I didn't fully understand, like, well, why do I have to do that? All I would know is like, okay, well, when I do it this way, it works. So yeah, I feel like I'm starting to better internalize like why things are set up in a certain way. So, one thing that like, I guess he's not really going into, like I feel less secure about my programming, like particularly like the grammar. And so I really appreciate you guys helping me out on like the little questions I have in that regard, like with spaces and, so yeah, like, I think I need to do some more. I would need to study, I think, to internalize the grammar of this code, like when to use a bracket, when to use parentheses, stuff like that. Like double equals, no idea why we do double equal signs there as opposed to just a regular equal sign. But that might come later, or it might be beyond the scope of this. So yeah, like maybe that'll happen later. Oh, a comparison versus an assignment. Comparison versus an assignment. Meaning that because it's in an if statement, it has to be, it's like checking to see if it's high. Is that what you mean by a comparison? And like here we're establishing like, okay, you have to LED 1 equals 10. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Thank you, MD. I appreciate that. All right, guys. Hey, I made it an hour with favorite scene from War Games. I've already made a mistake by playing. Okay, guys. Proud of myself for making these LEDs light up. Proud of my back for making it an hour in this chair. Thank you so much for your help and for joining me. And I will see you guys tomorrow when we will apparently have a creative day. Well, that sounds fun. Sounds good for a Friday. All right, guys. Peace out.